All right, guys, sorry about that. Yeah, so today I wanted to talk about, and if you have any questions, you can just plug them in there in the chat. But, over the last couple of weeks, I've been talking to quite a few people, and you don't seem to be using, what I think is probably the most important thing for growing your business, which is the use of gift cards and, primarily gift cards, but also cashback sites. You can use them both at the same time if you're sourcing online, and if you're doing retail or online, you can be using the gift cards. And it really makes a difference in your business. Because especially if you have set qualifications for what you're going to be buying, if you only want to buy things if it's at least 50% ROI, then it can really make the difference whether you can buy it or not. And anyone else who has those same issues, then they're not going to be willing to buy those items if they're not using a gift card. And sometimes you can make some huge differences in your buying decisions by choosing gift cards. So I definitely wanted to go over that today, and everything else. I've made some videos about it, but, we put out so much stuff that I don't know if everybody's watching, everything we're creating for you guys. And it was a pretty quick, short video. So, a lot of people like to use Raise or one cashback site or one gift card site. And, it is more work to, if you're using cashback sites, whichever one you're using, to set up accounts at 10 places and get paid at 10 or 20, or however many are out there. But when we go over this, you'll see that there is a huge difference in what you're getting. If you're used to using Raise for your gift cards and that's the only place you're looking, then they may be giving 3% back, and another site may be doing cards at 10%. It really depends on what they're able to get and what they're able to buy, because they really want to, push, if they have 500 of a card, one card and only, 10 of another card, which happens a lot, then, they're going to be giving them away at a lot better rate. And it's the same thing with the cashback sites. They negotiate deals, weeks or months in advance. So if you're using, Ebates, for example, they may usually do, a 2 to 5%, but another site may have, just a weekend deal where you're getting, 10% or 12% cash back, but they only have that deal for, 2 days or 3 days or for 1 week, and then that goes away, and they negotiate these deals with the store as well in advance, or, for the Father's Day, all the Father's Day sales, which I posted a few of them, but, I'm trying to teach you the ways to do it, not to just spoon feed you things, because, when you move on, or, you're training your employees, you shouldn't always be coming to me. I'm hoping to, show you the things so you know how to do it. Not, I'd rather not have to give you a store. I'd rather show you how to, go and find those stores yourself. So I'm going to go over what we use for our business. I mean, every day, almost every hour of the day, we're on these sites. And the two that we talk about most is using Cardbear. I believe they're an affiliate site for the cashback or the gift card sites. So they don't actually sell any gift cards, but they show you all the best prices. It's updated usually in real time. And they're going to, they'll also do notifications. So, if the cards are only at 2%, but you don't want to buy till it's 5% or 10%, they'll email you whenever a card from any of the sites that they monitor will hit that. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen if we don't have any questions beforehand, and we'll go over that. So here I think, oops. So I was looking at PetSmart, and you'll see the differences. You know, some sites are out of sight, some are out of stock, and I hope you can see my screen. I'm going to go back to the main site, though. It's just cardbear.com, as you can see. And the one thing I don't like is, you know, if you use Raise, which I was going over Raise here, and most people, I think, use Raise, you can sort by the biggest discount. So I think the first thing I should tell you is that, you know, we use this site, you know, when we start our day, we go here and we do exactly what you see on the screen. We go to buy gift cards right here, and then we sort by the highest discounts. And we go through and find, you know, any stores that may have some big discounts for the day. And that's where we're going to start out sourcing. Or if it's a store, you know, it may be a store that we never use. And, you know, another good tip that you know, I usually tell people is if you're eating out a lot, or, you know, if you're going to the movies, they got great discounts on movie theaters as well. You know, we usually pick some up when they hit, you know, 25% or so. But most, you know, the bigger chain restaurants, you're going to be able to get, you know, 20 to 25% off, you know. So, I mean, if you're going to McDonald's or you're going to, you know, chains like Chili's or, you know, Fridays or whatever you have in your area. And they even have smaller regional ones here. So I'm just going to bring up restaurants real quick, and, you know, so don't just think about what you do, what you're going to buy for business. As you can see, some of these, you know, the ones that may be only regional, it might be in your region, but they have huge discounts. I mean, like none of these I've ever even heard of. You know, Freshberry, but nothing up here. You know, I definitely don't have them. 1 card, 2 cards. You know, so they're just trying to get rid of these. You know, Chevys. You know, and even Steak and Shake, which everyone should probably have, you know, you're getting 25% off. And I've shared this deal quite a few times, but at Steak and Shake, the seasoning they have usually sells pretty good. And I'll buy, you know, 20 or 30 of those at a time. We haven't bought any of these recently. I'm not sure why, but the seasoning, I believe it's only $2.50 or $3 at the store. I don't know what the rank is right now. Looks like they got a few different ones. It's ranked at 42,000, and usually I've seen these as low as 15, but you know, anywhere between 20 and 50,000. These are ranked selling for $9.39. You know, and they're usually somewhere between 10 and 15 bucks. So they sell between $2.50 and $3 at Steak and Shake. But you're also getting, you know, 25% off. So, you know, if you eat there, or if not, you know, definitely for the seasoning, that's, you know, it's always been done very well with us. And also the seasoning at Red Robin does well. But, you know, as you can see, there's a ton of, you know, lower end chains and, you know, fast food store restaurants. If you eat at any of them, it's definitely worth picking up the gift cards for, because, you know, if you're doing retail arbitrage like we do, you know, we're out most of the day sourcing. And I think the last time I looked at McDonald's, it was about 17% off too, if that's somewhere you eat. But, you know, getting back to the good stuff, buy gift cards. Okay. And then, you know, most popular is usually maybe not going to be the best deals, but we definitely buy. Okay, so there's McDonald's for 16%. We definitely, you know, TJ Maxx, Ross usually does good. So, Now, if we're going to sort by the highest discount, you're never going to find, 40% off at those big stores. But, some of these smaller stores, maybe places we've never even sourced at, there's a great place to get a good idea of places to go. So I'm going to go to Card Bear. Now, the one issue I have here is you can't sort by that. You can't sort by the biggest prices. The only thing you can do is look at these biggest price drops, and of course you can go through the list. But this is basically always the same. The most popular, biggest price drops we always like to look at. Burlington Coat Factory was 2%, 20%. I've been looking at this all day. There's none. Well, it says Ray's has them at 16.9 now. But they were only a few percent, so I'm not sure what's been going on with Burlington Coat Factory today. But see, somebody must have just bought that one again because it's back down to 2%. But as you can see, people must have been buying a lot of cars from Burlington Coat Factory because, as you can see, it's usually hovering 20 to 25% off. It shows this, kind of like a keep a graph that will, tell you historically where it's at. So, if it's at 2% right now, and you can see the graph, it's usually way up here at 15 to 25 or more. This one was at 27. So, you don't want to buy cars for 5%, buy, $2,000 worth if it's only going to be, you're getting 2 to 5% off, and usually it's at 20%. So you can set up these alerts. So when it's, wherever you want it to be at, when it hits 20% or whatever number you want, it sends you an email. And, that's all you really have to do. And then this is going to show you, these aren't the only sites, but it's going to show you who has them in stock, and it looks like somebody's been buying them all out. And, it's also going to tell you here, sorry about that. So it's going to tell you here if you should buy it or if you should wait. The average over time, which most of them is going to go back to January of 15. So almost a year and a half. It's going to tell you what the average is, current discount. It's saying 16.9, but those, recently just sold out, so it hasn't updated. So you're going to get a notice. Now, if you haven't been buying gift cards, there's two ways you can get them. You can get a physical card or an e-gift card. Now, some stores only have physical cards. So the gift card company, whether it's Ray's or Card Cash or whoever it is, bought the cards, and then the person has to mail it to them. And then when you buy it, they're going to mail it to you. Some will offer either one. You can get, you'll be able to get either a physical or an e-gift. I believe Walmart does both. So, see, you can get the e-gift or the voucher. Now with Ray's, they have an app, so you can just show them in the app, and they'll scan the app. So that's what that is. So you have e-gifts, basically redeemed online only. The vouchers are what's printed, and then the physical card, has to be sent to you. Now, you may still be able to use it online by entering the numbers in, but usually it will tell you if you can only use it in store or not. I don't know if we can search for that. See, this Lowe's is in-store only. Ross in-store only. Of course, you can't buy anything at Ross online. So some of these will be in-store only cards, and then they'll also have an online card. So you definitely have to keep an eye on that. It looks like they're not showing the online gift cards here. Okay, so that's the regular Walgreens, and this is the Walgreens in-store. So the ones you can buy electronically. So if we search for Walgreens, I think what came up. So this is a regular one that's out of stock, but the in-store only one is in stock at 12.5%. So we definitely take a look at this, and then whatever you're looking for, of course, you can search for. So, if we wanted to look at Toys R Us, for example, it's currently at 8% off is the best thing that they're finding. So it's 8% at Cardpool, but let's say you're used to buying at Ray's. So if you only buy from Ray's, you go to Ray's and you're going to get 3.5%. Card Cash is 2%, and Cardpool is up to 8%. So it's saying the average discount is 9%. So you wouldn't want to buy a card at 2 or 3.5%. But if it's at 8% and the average, over the last year or more has been 9%, then that's something that that would probably be worth buying, for 1% less than the average, or get a notification. If we go and look at Ray's, most of these stores that, we buy, so you can get an e-gift or a voucher. It usually takes about an hour to get the cards, or less. They have to, I think they hand approve them, and then they'll go out. So it's actually 8.1%. And we buy quite a few at a time. We're not just going to buy one $62 card, of course. So we buy whatever it is we're going to use. So we're not going to look and find the stuff, and then going to find cards that match. But that may be what you need to do, depending on where your finances are. So, we'll source, but then we already have the cards up front. You may need to source first and then come over here, order your cards, and then finish your order, depending on how you do it. So, somewhere we're buying a lot from, like Toys R Us, we maybe buy $1,000 or $2,000 at a time. And if you use Card Cash, if you want to use Card Cash, they do have a business program, and I can put you in touch with the business contacts there that we use, and I believe it's $2,000 you have to buy at a time, but then you can use the ACH, which is basically like writing a check, like a wire transfer, and they'll give you an extra 3% on most cards, and a lot of times they'll have a better discount available to their business customers. So instead of using a credit card, if you use the ACH, wire transfer, you fill out a form and fax it to them, with a check, and they'll charge your bank account, but you'll get an extra 3% cash back, which, every $1,000 you spend is, an extra $30, which can add up pretty quickly. So as you can see, using CardBear can really do a lot. It's just cardbear.com. Now the other site that we use is for cashback. It's called Cashback Monitor. Very simple, and they basically work the same way. What's good here is if it also tracks the credit card points, travel mile points, cashback, and other type of rewards, which these are if you're using different, it's different type of bonus things like, like the credit cards that have the, hotel points and all that. As we pay, once we go through here, you'll see the differences. So you can look for just the best stores in cashback, and it'll be sorted, and it'll show you all the different sites. Be Frugal, Coupon Cactus, and we've registered on basically all of these now. We would do it as we needed it, but then, we just went through and registered for all the ones that we weren't registered for. So you're not getting those big $1,000 cashbacks maybe from Ebates, but you're going to get a lot better discounts. So if we look, let's look at Walmart. I don't think they do a whole lot for. Yeah, so You Promise is really my favorite cashback site. They give you 5% almost everywhere. So you can see Ebates, when they're giving you 1 to 3%, You Promise has 5% almost across the board. Now Ebates has more sites that they will, that they cover with the cash back. But You Promise also has a credit card, so you can get that cash back as well as an additional few percent cash back for doing, retail arbitrage when you're actually buying in the store. So that's something too. We've never gotten that. I just don't like having a ton of credit cards. We get the ones that, do really good. We got the Chase Sapphire. We have a few other Chase cards. We have the Sapphire. We have the Freedom, and then we have Discover and a few other ones. Basically, whatever the best deals are, and then we'll sign up for other ones that have deals and get rid of them over time. So Discover deals, that's the Discover logo, is only for the Discover card. It's giving you deals and running it through their cashback program. So as you can see, this is whichever one you're using, it's way there's a huge discrepancy between them. So even if you're using, the points and travel miles instead of cashback, this is going to track that. This is going to show you which one is the best. If you're using United Miles Plus or the Hilton or, any of the other ones. Amtrak, until I started using this, I didn't even know that, they had a cashback program at all. And Swag Bucks, I don't use it, but I know a lot of people use make a ton of money using Swag Bucks. As you can see, you're getting 7% for every dollar you spend there. There's a lot of weird rules and on how it works, but we definitely like You Promise. They're usually at the top of the heap in almost everything, but as I was saying before, Ebates does a lot of deals with stores, and they will have huge discounts, especially at holidays. Shopping holidays, they're giving an extra 5%. So they may have 7%, 8%, or 10%, on a specific store. And again, this isn't a cashback site. So, when you're ready to, and when we make an order, we don't go through this because, the cashback sites slow you down. So we go and, because it has all those cookies and everything running in the background. So if we're using Toys R Us, for example, we're going to go to Toys R Us. We're going to find whatever we need to buy. We're going to add that to our cart. And then we're going to go to the cashback site and go to Toys R Us and then finish our checkout. So as you can see, there's one of the stores that You Promise only gives 1% back, but Simply Best Coupons, which, who's going there as their main site, actually has the best discount at 3%. You know, so you really don't know what cash back. And literally every day, every time we make an order, we come here and we check what the best cash back is. And this is basically the full list. As you can see, there is a ton of stores. I don't know what the total is for this site, but they cover most everything. I mean, this is just the stores that start with a number. As you can see, some waist shapers, that's probably just one single product, but I mean, they're giving 15% cash back. And, you know, you're going to find some sites that just give you a ton. The more popular sites, excuse me, they, you know, people are naturally going to Walmart or, you know, Toys R Us or Sears or Kmart. So they may not need, you know, they don't need to give you 15% to get you to come to their store. But, you know, some of these places that you never heard of, you know, Walk Tall, you know, needs to give you, you know, these higher rates. I mean, it's to get people into the store. They don't expect you to go to the store first and then go find a cash back site. It's usually for people who are going to cash back sites already, looking for these deals, and they're promoting to their mailing lists and however else they're getting people to go to the stores. And that's why they're giving you those cash back rates. You know, so the way it works is, you know, this is going to show you the best rate out of all the places. And then whatever's got the green background that's highlighted, that's the store. So as you can see, usually it's going to be one of these that has the best prices. Occasionally, and I don't see any here, there'll be one over here, and then you can just click on it and it'll show you, you know, the actual store's information. But as you can see, I don't even see anything on this page that's going to cover that. Okay, and that's about all I have on doing that. So, any questions on the cashback?
Right now, there don't seem to be any questions.
What?
Can you? I said right now there aren't any questions, but I don't know. Can you hear me?
Yeah, you're kind of breaking up, but so I mean, you know, we routinely get you know, some pretty big cashback things whenever they pay out. You know, most of them are, you know, every 3 months. You know, sometimes every month, and definitely the gift cards. We have huge savings, and you know, on the other end, you know, we will, when you're buying those gift cards, I think the main question is, you know, how you report that as far as accounting. And, you know, we report it as whatever we actually spent, you know, so, you know, it doesn't matter if the item costs, you know, $500, we spent $500 at Walmart, you know, we didn't actually pay $500 for it, you know, so we usually record it as whatever the cost is, you know, the actual cost to us, because that's, you know, what it is. So you don't have to make it complicated. Don't be afraid, because, you know, you're going to have to figure a lot of stuff out. It's really, you know, it's really simple. I mean, everything, you know, most everything about this business is, you know, simple. Just don't make it, you know, into a lot more than it has to be. Okay, well, I guess no questions on that. Moving forward, this Wednesday night, we've got a great series of webinars starting on, dealing with couponers, finding couponers, buying on Craigslist, buying books, or, going out of business deals. It's really a big part of our business is, sourcing from these people, putting ads on Craigslist, and I think it could be really a big boom to your business, especially now, in summertime. There's not a whole lot of deals out there, for most people. I mean, obviously if you're getting our buying lists, and I mean, you see there's a ton of stuff to buy, but the sales and the huge discounts are just not out there like they are in quarter four. We're going to have, it's actually, not a mastermind thing. It's, something we're doing through a grocery group. So, it's paid, but for, the masterminds, it's free. So we'll be posting the link for that, but it's going to be this Wednesday and next Wednesday at 8 p.m. And then we're going to be probably doing a webinar the following Wednesday at 8 p.m. with somebody that we've been introduced to that is a district manager at Walgreens, which we've talked about in the group as well, who should be able to, shed some light on, a lot of questions, not just sourcing at Walgreens, but, the way that, managers and district managers are, willing to deal with people like us. When they mark things down, why they mark them down, why they go to clearance, why they go out of clearance, how long items can stay on the store shelf, negotiating discounts. And Walgreens is probably the best place that we've been able to negotiate discounts with. I really think that it's, it's going to be a great conversation that we're going to be able to have. And I mean, countless times we've been able to go into Walgreens and, buy everything in the, on the clearance rack. And a lot of stuff there, I don't know why they mark stuff down, because, we'll find maybe bodybuilding type stuff or, they don't have a lot of that kind of stuff there, but, we find stuff that don't expire for another 2 years. There's no reason why they should be going into clearance. And especially in liquidation, we find a lot of that kind of stuff too. But, medicines who have very long shelf lives, they look brand new and, they'll have shelves of that stuff there. And some places have a little bit of a clearance section. Some places have a lot bigger clearance section. But, at Walgreens, we've just been able to find a ton of good stuff. Especially, after the holidays, they, when one holiday ends at Walgreens, they're ready. Most stores, the very next day, when Valentine's Day is over, they're, before the holidays even over, they're putting in Easter stuff and, Christmas to whatever the next one is. I think, they go from Christmas to Valentine's Day and Halloween right to Christmas, and they want that stuff out quick. And every year we buy a ton of costumes from clearance. It's marked from 50 to 90% off, and within a week they're already at like 90 to 95% off. So Walgreens has really done very well for our business. And that's about all I had to talk about today. So if nobody has any questions, we'll probably wrap it up, I guess.